From the Hussman School of Journalism and Media at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, covering the full range of Tar Heel athletics. This is Sports Extra.
Good morning and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm Grace Nugent.
And I'm Bethany Pryor. Luckily, we were all on spring break last week when UNC men's basketball suffered another disappointing ending to their season. But Grace, I heard you went for a little swim in morning.
You are totally correct, Bethany. I did jump into a pool in my clothes from dinner and swam 38 laps for the 38 points VCU scored in the second half after UNC was up 19. I don't know what I would have done in Chapel Hill, but let's talk about the X's and O's. Men's basketball felt the madness of March on Thursday. The number 6 seeded Tar Heels danced with the number 11 VCU Rams in the round of 64. After a back-and-forth start, Carolina took control of the floor against the Rams, going on a 22-10 run to close out the first half, led by Henry Vasar's 13 points. The Tar Heels held their ground to start the second, with all of the starters finding the basket. And the rest was Carolina history, and not in a good way. With 7 minutes remaining, up 70-56, the Heels defense collapsed as the Rams went on a 19-5 run to close out a dominant second half, sending the game to overtime. After nearly 3 scoreless minutes, VCU struck first, but free throws from Seth Trimble put the Heels up 1 with the 35 seconds remaining. But Terrence Hill Jr. could not be stopped, nailing a precise step-back 3 as VCU pulled off an 82-78 upset win, sending the Heels home in the opening round of the NCAA tournament.
For his final men's basketball analysis of the semester, let's head over to Alden Archdeacon. I'm expecting this one to be brutal.
Yeah, thanks, Bethany. Look, another year and another early exit for the Tar Heels in March. I think this game was a perfect depiction of the Hubert Davis era at Carolina. High highs, low lows. It's a roller coaster ride. You never know what's coming next. The Heels, they were up 19 early in the second half, and they end up losing by 4 to VCU in overtime. I brought him back up here. Nick Seed, our student athlete. Nick, what went wrong for the Heels here?
Let's start by defending the 3. Terrence Hill Jr., 34 points, 7 threes, almost the same amount of threes the Hills made as a team. Next up, free throws late in the stretch. Couldn't hit free throws in overtime. Something we seen against Clemson. Free throws was a problem. Then last, coaching. 6-man rotation. You can see the players getting tired. And as a coach, you have to make that adjustment.
Yeah, no doubt. And the worst part is that all these, they plagued us all year long. They never fix them. If they ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, it was broke, and they never fixed them. Now the question is, what's next for the Heels? And it's surrounding the head coach, Hubert Davis. Steve, thoughts on that?
Hubert Davis is getting a lot of heat right now, a lot of pressure. But if you look at the stats, he's had a pretty solid time here at Carolina. He's the only coach in school history to win 20-plus games in his first 4 years. And then if you look at the Hills, this season, they won every game at home. And they're getting a lot of top recruits every year, so it might be hard to ship him out.
Very fair. I'd push back just a little. He hasn't delivered when it matters most, which is March. With the exception of that really Cinderella-type run in 2022, he's not performed. They went out. They didn't even make the tournament the next year, Sweet 16, and then went out back-to-back first-round exits. They've got to improve. No doubt they have to make some sort of change. Nick, final thoughts. Hubert, is he coming back?
I think if Caleb Wilson didn't go down, they would have made a deep run in the tournament. He should be back.
Fair. I'm going the other way. I'm saying he's out. Either way, we'll have to watch news closely because any day it's going to break. Back to y'all.
Grace, obviously there's been a little bit of disappointment. All 4 years we've had a disappointing end to men's basketball season, but I'm also really sad because we're not going to be back in the Dean Dome.
No, Bethany, as seniors, our college career here at the University of North Carolina is almost over, but the career of the Dean Dome might be too. We don't know the fate of where UNC basketball will play as the debate rages on.
That's true, Grace. I mean, with questions about players and even coaches returning to North Carolina, Carolina basketball is surrounded by uncertainty. Sports Extra's Emily Breitz explains how the Smith Center is also facing an uncertain fate.
At the start of the year, Chancellor Roberts announced a potential relocation of the Dean Smith Center, prompting concerns from students and alumni.
It was sort of like a lightning bolt from nowhere because nobody had been a part of a real process, and we didn't understand the urgency.
In response, Smith Center South, a group of nearly 100 alumni and fans, formed to oppose the move. Their petition has surpassed 40,000 signatures and gained support from Tar Heels like Roy Williams, Tyler Hansborough, and Drake May.
Roy said recently, you know, cherish the moments that take your breath away. And I've had a lot of them.
Students have also organized. John Harrison Kiger and friends handed out newspapers reading "Renovate, Don't Relocate" for students at basketball games. They've also posted 15,000 flyers across campus and gave out 2,000 free shirts before the Duke game. Students say they worry about losing the traditions tied to the arena.
And so when you get to go hug the players on the court, like I got to go hug Darren Stevenson, and you get to high five Seth Trimble. Like those are memories you'll tell your kids one day.
The atmosphere there is how you create a home court advantage that no team can compete in. That's a priority for me.
Since the initial announcement, administrators have slowed the process and met with student groups.
I can confidently say there's been no decision made.
For many students, Carolina basketball is central to the college experience.
I've grown up coming here. It's a big part of Carolina's legacy, their history, and it's what makes us a family here, is having these unique traditions that really make up the value in that Carolina emblem.
The Dean Dome has been home to Carolina basketball for the past 40 years, and if students have anything to say about it, it will be for the next 40. In Chapel Hill, I'm Emily Breitz, reporting.
With the ongoing debate, we asked our followers on Instagram what they think, renovate or relocate. Right now, Grace, there's only 6 votes for relocate and 94 votes for renovate. What are you thinking, though?
I think on either side, there's a lot of hardships that can go, but I know that we need to hear jump around, whether that's in the Dean Dome, the renovated Dean Dome, or somewhere on campus like Odom Village. This basketball arena has to stay for the students because Carolina basketball is for the student population, and I think students should be on 3 sides of the court. Wherever it goes, the students need to be the #1 priority.
I agree, Grace. I mean, my first visit to UNC's campus, the first place I went was the Dean Dome, so I really hope that students can continue to get excited to go see this iconic arena for years to come.
Although the season is over, it's not just about the players in Carolina blue jerseys. Cooper Malloy takes us behind the scenes to the managers who make it all happen.
The UNC basketball program has 8 student managers, whose senior manager Avery Wilkinson says shows up 5 to 6 hours early on game days to make sure the team is ready to go.
And we had to be here around like 2:30ish, so that can be around 8 to 10 hours that you're here.
In the 8 to 10 hours that they're at the stadium, the managers are responsible for setting up the necessities for the team.
Like setting up our meal room, making sure the players have everything they need in that sense. I make the shooting schedule for pregame.
Being a manager of the UNC basketball team is a full-time job. They're always on call and get very little time off during the season.
I'm a part of this program now, but the level of commitment you have to have, it's every single day, pretty much 365 days a year. You're on call at all times, to make sure that the program runs smoothly and efficiently.
With that level of commitment comes sacrifice.
Those are times that, in your college days you may spend with friends, with family, or whoever you may spend that time with, but you take that time away to be here and be a part of this program.
A sacrifice that these managers are willing to take because of their love for this program. Most of these managers will spend a majority of their college careers in this very stadium. And why do they do it? Because they love Carolina, they love this basketball program, and they love each other.
I've never been like this dedicated to something before, I don't think, or like put this much time into something that I love so much.
While there were some rough moments to this season, there were some good ones. Beating Duke, Kansas, and Kentucky could not have been done without the work and preparation done by these dedicated team managers. I'm Cooper Malloy, reporting.
The basketball players, coaches, and managers will be looking to bounce back after 2 consecutive seasons of being bounced in the first round of March Madness.
In a more positive light, the Carolina women's basketball team welcomed Western Illinois Leatherbacks to Carmichael Arena Friday for the first round of the NCAA tournament. The Heels were off to a slow start, but caught fire thanks to this flawless 3 by Lainey Grant. India Navarre stunned the Leatherbacks with her dominance in the paint, putting up 11 points and dishing out a team-high 5 assists to help power the Heels to victory. Nyla Harris was relentless on the boards, turning plays like this into second-chance points all game long. She finished with a team-high 17 points and 12 rebounds to lead the win. The Tar Heels sent the Leathernecks home, securing their first tournament win in a statement performance, 82-51. In the round of 32 on Sunday, Carolina faced Maryland. Just 20 seconds in, this Alina Arnasalo layup got the Heels going. She finished with 21 points, just shy of her 22-point career high. Nyla Harris kept the consistency going with 14 points on the day and 8 rebounds. This is their If they win the next round, this Sweet 16, they'll head to the Elite 8 for the first time in over a decade. This is going to be taking place in Fort Worth, Texas. It was a great first weekend for Courtney Banghart's team, and here to break down how it happened is our women's basketball analyst, Reed Weichel. What did you see, Reed?
Thanks, Bethany. The Heels went dancing, and they looked real good doing it. Round 1 was a demolition of the Western Illinois Leathernecks. Great mascot, by the way. 81-52. This matchup was all about the paint. Big advantages both on the boards as well as points in the paint. One big concern stood out from that game, though. 25% from deep on a massive 40 attempts. Game 2, also in Carmichael Arena, against the Maryland Terrapins. Carolina really avoided shooting the 3 in this one, and it made all the difference. 4 for 11 from deep, while Maryland shot 3 for 23. Instead, Carolina was driving. They took advantage of their faster guards, and Lainey Grant and Alina Arnasalo would end up scoring 20 and 21 respectively. And all the time, it was off of plays like this. As Alina Arnasalo brings it up, she sees a 4-on-5, not an advantage for the offense, but she scans, sees that the post is open, and then blows past her defender to get to the cup and lay it in for 2. The first half was full of plays like this, especially Arnasalo and Grant, getting downhill and getting past their defenders for easy lay-ins. Now, by the second half, Maryland had changed some things on defense and was causing a lot of problems for the Heels, especially forcing turnovers. Maryland brought it all the way back to tie the game up, but then Carolina threw a bit of a wrinkle into their offense, and that clinched the game for the Heels. Here you can see India Navarre gets it to Nyla Harris in the high post, and then they run a screen action. A rub screen off the side forces the post defender to switch on, and then India Navarre is taking this opportunity 10 times out of 10. She gets to the cup and lays it in for 2, taking a lead that Carolina would not relinquish. Now, Carolina's gotten a lot of really good guard play. In this game, they were focused on manufacturing good, high-efficiency layup opportunities, and it worked great for them. Heading forward, they've been getting a lot of reliable production from Nyla Harris. It's all a sign of success in March. But undefeated UConn likely awaits in the Sweet 16 after their own second-round date with Syracuse tonight. Over to you, Bethany. I hear you've got a special guest.
Just talked about her 8 rebounds and 14 points to help send the Heels to the Sweet 16. I'm joined by Sports Extra's very own Nyla Harris. Nyla, first of all, how does it feel to be going to the Sweet 16?
Oh my gosh, it feels so amazing, Bethany. I mean, I remember my freshman year with Louisville going to the Sweet 16, and it was one to remember. I was a baby, now I'm a senior, and being able to lead my team to that is just huge. It's amazing. I can't even put it into words yet.
I know, I can't even I can't express how excited we are. I can't imagine how excited you are. But we have some preparation to be done, right? Yeah. UConn is likely up. They have to play Syracuse tonight, but it's March Madness for a reason. So we don't know what happens, but the undefeated UConn comes up. How are you guys working this week to prepare for this weekend?
Yeah, you know, UConn is an amazing team. I mean, they rank #1 in almost all of the statistic categories. So I think the biggest thing for us is really just keeping them in front of us, making sure, you know, we kind of make a lot of shots hard for them. And then on the other end, be confident. Be the offense that we are. We aren't ranked #1 in defensive field goal percentage in the ACC for a reason, so we need to use that to our strengths going into UConn. But again, it's March. You know, they can have a bad game, we can have a good game. You never know what's going to happen. So I'm really proud of our team, and I can't wait to see what we're going to do.
I know. We're all excited to see you guys play as well. We talked a little bit, or you did a live shot earlier this semester, and you said you were a team to be feared in this tournament. Yeah. Why are you guys supposed to be feared?
Because we're just peaking at the right time. I mean, we're doing a lot of things in Courtney's era that hasn't been done. We're the first for a lot of things this season, and I think that, again, we're a team that you just have to watch out for. Again, like I said, we're peaking at the right time, and we're coming together at the right time. I think at the beginning of the season, we're still figuring out our flows and figuring out who we were as a team, our identity. And now that we've found that, now that we went through a lot of adversity to be able to realize, okay, our identity is this, and this is what we're going to stick to, we've seen a lot of success with that. And I think the biggest thing for us going into the rest of March is just really being confident, trusting our work, trusting our teammates, trusting our coaches with the game plan, and we'll really like our results. I think, again, our team is one to be feared because we're the most underrated team in my opinion. Everybody has us counted out. They had us losing Maryland. We beat Maryland. So I think the biggest thing for us is we have nothing to lose going into this. And all the pressure's on UConn or whoever we get to play. So I think just playing to that strength and being who we are, being the Carolina team that we are.
Awesome. Well, we're all so excited to watch you play in Fort Worth this weekend and can't wait to see what happens. Back to you, Grace.
Women's swim and dive took to the big stage with NCAA championships in Atlanta. Mary McCauley set a program record in the 400 IM, netting honorable mention All-America honors. Sophia Knight finished 6th on the platform and 14th in the 1 meter, earning honorable mention All-America honors for both. The women's team finished 24th overall. UNC Wrestling took their spring break trip to Cleveland, Ohio for the NCAA D1 Championship. 165-pounder Bryce Hepner finished 7th, taking down his former teammate by major decision. Hepner also became the first UNC 165-pound All-American since 2015. As the spring postseason rolls on, Carolina fencing wrapped up the NCAA championships on Sunday. Freshman star Youssef Shamol was crowned national champion in the men's épée, the first individual fencer to win in 43 years and just the second all-time. Sophomore Peter Brook competed in men's foil and tied the best finish in NCAA tournament history. The men finished 7th, while the women slotted in at 15th.
Men's tennis hosted conference foe Clemson on Friday at the Tuning Tennis Center. UNC fell short in doubles after a penalty point was awarded, giving Clemson the lead. But singles was a different story. Senior Roan Jones secured crucial points off long rallies on court 1 like this inside-out forehand. But the man of the match was freshman Case Schinner, who rallied back to give Carolina the 4-1 win against Clemson. On Sunday, Carolina faced off against Georgia Tech. UNC won doubles and put up their second point of the match thanks to Ian Mayhew's quick pressure at the net. It was another case clinch from the freshman on court 6, who fought back to win the second set, forcing a tiebreaker and securing back-to-back wins for Carolina with the 4-2 victory. After losing the first 2 games of the series, Carolina softball team headed into their final matchup against Louisville last night, looking to avoid the sweep. The Tar Heels came out hot, putting up 5 runs in the first, including a 3-run home run from Michelle Tarpe. But Stanford responded in a big way, dropping 5 in the second and keeping the pressure on all game, led by Emily Jones and Kira Chan, who combined for 8 RBIs. Carolina fought back with homers from Sanaa Thompson, Shelby Barbie, and Tarpe, but couldn't quite close the gap. Stanford takes the final 15-12 and sweeps the series.
On Friday, the Diamond Heels hosted Louisville for their second ACC home series. The Tar Heels offense caught fire with Rom Kellis punching a single to left field. Right after, Tyler Howe drove a ball into left center for a 2-run double, putting the Heels up 4-1 in the third. Pitcher Jason DeCaro never let the Cardinals hitters get comfortable, striking out 4. Cooper Nicholson launched a home run to left field, sealing an 11-1 Mercy Rule victory against the Cardinals. In Game 2, Carolina starter Ryan Lynch allowed just 4 hits with 4 strikeouts, but Louisville scratched a run in the second and another in the 6th. Walker McDuffie was lights out, 3 hitless innings with 5 strikeouts, his best outing of the season by the sophomore. But Carolina's offense was absolutely silent, and the Cardinals shut out the Tar Heels 2-0. In the series rubber match on Sunday, Carolina scored first with an RBI single by Tyler Howe. The scrappy Cardinals plated 3 runs in the 3rd and 4th to take a 2-run lead. Down 8th with the bases juiced, Jake Schaffner drew a walk, scoring a run. With 2 outs, Eric Paulson clobbered a bases-clearing double to break the game open and give the Heels a 7-4 lead. Louisville's Tage Davis hit a 2-run shot, pulling the Cardinals within 1, but relief pitching from Caden Glauber and Matthew Mateus shut down the Cardinals, ensuring a 7-6 Carolina victory to take the series. The North Carolina Arm Barn has been dynamite this season, tied for the conference lead in ERA. A huge part of that has been some of the younger faces. Sports Extra's Nathan Cheek takes us through one of the freshman pitchers' journey to success at Carolina.
17-year-old freshman Caden Glauber reclassed so that he could come to college a year early and pitch for the Tar Heels.
It's pretty cool. I'm pretty sure he should be getting ready for his prom right now. But instead he's in college and he's throwing 97.
And while he's still finding his footing in college baseball, Glauber feels very supported by his team.
Having Walker come in and back me up just gave me so much confidence that I have guys behind me to always come in the game and get me going or just kind of pick me up. So just having those leaders just definitely helps out a bunch.
Even though he might be the youngest on the team, Coach Forbes still notices aspects of Glauber's game the more experienced players could learn from.
You know, if anything, you just have to slow him down. Even though he's young, he's ultra competitive, and our guys should take note of that.
The bright lights and fierce competition seem to only fuel the young pitcher's fire.
It's so easy to get competitive with these guys. Everyone's so good. Just me being out there and having the crowd just roar and giving me the confidence to do it, I have to give it back and yell. It was awesome.
I'm Nathan Cheek reporting.
Caden Glauber, his lethal changeup, and the rest of the Diamond Heels will travel to Charlotte tomorrow for the annual Battle of the Carolinas. First pitch is at 6:30 p.m. Top-ranked North Carolina puts its undefeated record on the line Saturday at Dorrance Field against number 16 Boston College. Addison Patillo got things started early with 2 goals, and after a quick response from the Eagles, UNC flipped the switch, finishing the first quarter with 5-0 run. Patillo continued to lead the charge, while even in Greeley and Chloe Humphrey contributed big-time goals, including this behind-the-back finish. Humphrey had a record day with 8 goals and 3 assists. The Tar Heel defense was just as strong, limiting Boston College to only 1 goal in the third quarter. North Carolina caps it off with a 21-12 win against the Eagles, moving to 9-0 as they gear up for a top 15 matchup with Northwestern on Wednesday. Now let's toss it over to Around the Arc with Alex to break down the 31st win in a row. Alex.
Thanks, Bethany. Now, I feel like a broken record coming up here again and saying UNC women's lacrosse is still winning, but that 0 on the loss column lasted even through spring break. Now, while students were on a beach or catching up on rest, the number 1 Heels still didn't stop breaking records. They officially secured the program record in wins with 30 last week, but went the extra mile on Saturday against number 16 Boston College and now have the 5th longest streak in NCAA history with 31 straight wins. And the Heels set both national and personal records, with each of these Heels, Eva Ingrilli, Addison Patillo, and Chloe Humphrey, each setting career highs in that 21-12 win over number 16 Boston College on Saturday. Now, don't let the final score fool you. This game was a dogfight to begin, as mentioned. Boston College even tied it up 2-2, so let's see how UNC was able to pull away to a blowout win. So we see here UNC's up 1-0 early, and we'll see over there that is sophomore attacker Eva Ingrilli, and we'll see her. She's looping around the back of the goal, and right here is Caroline Godine, who is looking for an option. She spins around her defender, and she finds Ingrilli. Ingrilli drives up towards the crease, and look at that beautiful shoulder fake there. She goes under, finds the back of the net. Let's take a closer look at that. She finds her, boom, up and under, right into the crease, boom, into the back of the net. Now, Boston College, they surged back. They tied it at 2. And then Ingrilli converted for another goal. And we'll see here how Patillo was able to extend UNC's lead in the beginning here. So we see Patillo does her signature move. She drives here. She jukes her defender. She speeds past her with her blazing speed. And she blows past her, and we see here she's got to find the angle between these 2 defenders and then the goalie there, and she does exactly that. This UNC team is great at finding the angle also with their ball control. That way they're able to kind of make these tough shots, as we see here from long distance. She finds the back of the net, and of course, Boston College still kept it tight. It's still a 2-goal game late in the second quarter. And we'll see how Chloe Humphrey, with one of her career high 8 goals here, was able to secure it for the Tar Heels and help them to pull away. So we see here Humphrey's got possession. She loops around the back of the goal, and we look here. She is far away from the goal. That is a long distance shot there, and her defender is really pressuring her. So she's got to make a decision, and look at that. She does it off one foot through the arm of her defender. That is incredible poise, incredible ball control over the head of the goalie, and finds the back of the net for UNC's 10th goal of the day. And the Tar Heels were able to pull away from there. Now, undefeated seasons can really be seen as sort of a ticking time bomb, but UNC has continued to prove itself as the undisputed #1 against these top 25 opponents with plenty of ranked wins. And lacrosse fans have been waiting for UNC to be tested and prove themselves against ranked competitions, and they've done exactly that so far this season. Bethany?
Thanks, Alex. Another big game coming up this weekend for the defending champs.
On Saturday, gymnastics made the drive over to Greensboro for the ACC Championships. Led by all championship performances from Gwen Fink in beam and JoJo Valahovic in vault, the Tar Heels posted a score of 196.05, landing at 5th in the 6-team event, as the Clemson Tigers were crowned ACC champions.
Our reporter Cooper Hall spoke with Aer Lingus game director to get a sneak peek into what the UNC game in Ireland is really all about. Sorry guys, there's a little bit of a technical difficulty going on, but looking forward to the Ireland game. You can get your tickets to see the Heels in Ireland through UNC Athletics right now.
Bethany, I will not be making the trip to Ireland, but I personally cannot wait to go see the Tar Heels play football in Dublin.
I can't either, Grace, but we're saving the best for last. Here are this week's nominees for Play of the Week. First, from the women's basketball, we have Alina Arnasalo, who lobs the ball over to Nyla Brooks, who drains a 3 to help solidify the Carolina lead. Our second nomination is Chloe Humphrey. Well, let's take a look at this ball right here. Look at that. That's an incredible shot by Nyla Brooks. But we have to go to our next one. We're really excited to see Chloe Humphrey around the back of the net. She fakes out Boston College player to sink the shot. We're still watching that basketball play though, Grace. It's really, I mean, honestly, I think that,
well,
there's Chloe
Humphrey. There's Chloe.
Look at Chloe. I mean, every time that she does one of those trick shots, I'm just in awe. Like,
she's magic. She's magic on the field.
Magic. When I played high school lacrosse, I only scored 2 goals ever. So her 8 in one game is really, really impressive. But Grace, that does it for this edition of Sports Extra.
We'll be back on Friday with another preview of an exciting week of Carolina athletics.